It's a great day in West Central Wisconsin, and welcome to Banging on the Drum, where today I'm going to give you the keys to a Packers victory this weekend over the Los Angeles Chargers. This should be pretty easily the beginning of an 8-game win streak for the Packers, but there are a few things we do need to execute in order to roll to a win. All right, so these are the keys to victory from Banging on the Drum. Uh, Number one, we need to find a way to take the ball away from the Chargers. They have a high-powered offense. The Packers are probably going to need extra possessions in this one. We did have opportunities in last week's game to take the ball away a few times, step in front of a few passes, and got our hands on the ball. Just did not convert those opportunities. And then one that looked like it was a backwards pass, we the refs didn't give it to us. We don't need to give them the option. Just scoop one right out of the air there and take it to the house. That would be really, really awesome. Well, with that being said, I think we need to, for number two, I think we need to get moving and throw the ball around and decide to put up like 21 points in the first half. Fuck it. Let's do it in the first quarter. Just get up. The Chargers have the worst pass defense in the league in terms of yards. Start with the passing game. That'll set up Jones and Dillon in the run game, take some of the pressure off of Love. The big thing here will be don't let their two defensive ends, or as Matt LaFleur would say, their down linemen, get to Love. They had 0 sacks last week against the Lions. I know the Lions appear to be a significantly better team than the Packers, but as I'll throw out next week sometime, that's not really super clear, right? So we'll have 10 keys to beating them as well. Number three, once we get the lead and once we're like kind of rolling, start running the ball and take the pressure off Jordan Love. We had 22 attempts last week out of Dillon and Jones, and I think you need to have 30. You have to have a minimum of 30. I don't care how well your running game is working or not working. You need to continue to give backs the ball to take time off the clock, especially when we're going to be up 21-0 after the first quarter. And then just really work the running game, and then start working the running game after we have the big pass plays and after we've kind of set the tone with the passing game. The Chargers run D is a pretty significantly better. So being able to stick with the run will be important too, right? So a lot of times when their run defense is a lot better, the Packers will go away from that pretty quickly, and we don't need that to be the case. I think we need to start scheming the ball to Christian Watson. I know that was the one from last week as well, but we need to get him involved. We need to get him involved early and often. I know that they tried to do that a little bit last week, but 2 or 3 schemed plays for him in the first quarter and Dobbs in the first quarter would be really, really good. Get them the ball early and let them start finding some momentum and really go off, have huge games. It was a big game that kind of set Watson on fire last year. And if we can do the same thing again this year, that would be really, really good. All right, key number 5. We need to get stops on their playmakers. We need to put the brackets on the 2 guys on offense that are really a problem for just about every team in the league. I mean, so these 2 are superstars, and it's almost impossible to stop them, but we need to at least slow them down and make their other players make plays if they want to beat us. Austin Ekeler is the first one. Our D-line needs to get stops here. Also need to limit him catching passes out of the backfield. He needs to probably be your second guy that you're focusing on in the pass game. Keenan Allen, we need our DBs to bottle him up. It'd be good if Alexander could be back. I believe Alexander right now is questionable, so it's hard to say whether he'll make it back for the game or not. They're willing to throw it around, but these 2 are the guys that are going to beat us. If Keenan Allen and Austin Ekeler go off, It's going to be very, very hard for the Packers to keep up. On the other side of the ball, key number 6, we need to identify who their game wreckers are and keep them limited. I mentioned earlier, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, they're 2 defensive ends. We got to keep them away from Love and just keep working on it. And then they have safety Derwin James, who's also a really, really dominant safety. We got to watch what he's up to pretty much all the time. All right, key number 7. I'll say it again. Bomb Maruski each quarter. We got to chuck that ball deep. I don't care who you're chucking it to now. Send Watson. You could send Watson 3 times a quarter, and if you find him open on one, perfect. Let's do it. Reed can do it. Wicks can do it. Whoever. Throw it deep. Get a completion. Get 2 of them in the first quarter. 2 of those are the 14. We'll have 1 good drive after 3 big stops. I'm going to throw out another pretty obvious one. We got to clean up the penalties. And when the Chargers commit penalties, we got to take advantage of that. Dial up our defense to really make it tough when they get backed up a little bit, and really punish them for making penalties on defense. Key number 9, really need to clean up the special teams. We had a muffed punt. We had a missed extra point or a block extra point. I can't remember which one right off the top of my head right now, but those 2 things can't happen. We do return the ball well. I'm not too worried about that, but the few things that we had that were issues last week, we need to kind of clean up. So, and then I think our coaching needs to start helping our players run a trick play. I love the idea of a trick play. We tried to run one last week. It didn't work the way we had kind of hoped it would, right? They attempted a double pass last week that did not work out. This week, let's have some fun. I'm going to predict a play right here. I'm going to go with a hook and ladder with Watson getting the pitch, right? So I'm going to run a hook with Watson kind of trailing up the seam. And if Watson gets that ball, he is going to cook the defense. And then another way we can help the players is get the right personnel in on defense. If we're going to go with Gary and Smith as our down lineman, which Matt LaFleur said, right, make sure they are in a lined up like they're down linemen, much closer to the interior of the defensive line, not outside the tight end box. There's no way they should be that far away from the line in a run situation if they're going to be the guys that are stopping the run, right? So I get it. Like if they're pass rushing, get out there, like get your angles or whatever. I understand that. If we're going to use them as like a standard 4-3 defense, then do it right? Bring them in, put their hand in the dirt, make them be D linemen. If not, get them out of the game and put the guys that need to be in there. So those are kind of my 10 keys. Like I said, it's probably going to be an easy win, going to be the start of a nice little rattle off of 8 in a row or so. And so I'm pretty excited about the game this weekend. It's happening at Sunday at noon. And if you made it this far, make sure you go ahead and pound that subscribe button. And if you are doubting the Brewers, the Badgers, the Bucks, or the Packers, you can eat our shorts. Roll.
Packers can't eat my shorts. All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't eat my shorts. Beat them. All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't eat my shorts. Eat my shorts.